Hello everybody, what is up? This is Electrify here, and I've been occasionally asked for some YouTube tips or if I can give them support, but really I kinda did grind in most of my subscribers through just videos that I enjoy doing. And is there any secret at all into getting views? The answer is no, not really. It's just in the matter of what you know how YouTube works and how to get your way around the algorithms. There's no worrying about knowing it all because I'm going to get you through a complete YouTube guide on how to gain attraction, views, watch time, and subscribers without misleading anyone. Every segment in this video are going to be listed in the timestamps in the description below. Keep in mind, this video is directed to people who are going after vlogs, gaming, and or music videos. If not, then some of the things mentioned in the video will not be 100% accurate. If your channel is going to be based off of music, vlogging, and or gaming, then try to follow everything as planned. So with that being said, let's begin. If you want to bring out an audience, you want to bring out interesting content that viewers are going to find, obviously. Now, please do not try to make content that is overly done before. If you're attempting to play, let's say, Fortnite, then do not go after Fortnite gameplay or Fortnite edits. Those are overly done videos that are bound to get some steep competition. If you don't want to face through some major grinding and stick through more originality, why not pick a relevant topic within a game? Let's pick Minecraft for example, since it's relevant now. Why not try having your live stream chat play Minecraft for you, or why not trying something cool with Minecraft Earth? Thinking about interesting topics while also being relevant can be hard, but once you thought of one, it could be a full potential for something that both you and your fans will enjoy. Watching a live stream chat play Minecraft for you is something I honestly watch because I kinda wonder what would happen if I do so. If you don't know if your idea for content is good enough, ask a good friend. Tell them, hey, is this something you'd watch? When I make my plans on YouTube for content, I generally ask my good friends on Discord and see if it's something that they genuinely enjoy or if it's good enough. Once you have found your topic for a game or a blog, then that's pretty much it. You have pretty much found your main content that people would always watch it for. Now, don't worry if you get bored of your own content. Maybe it's not what you really like. Try experimenting through these different types of content that you want to try out. I also experimented through different types of content until I found one that really hit the spot. It takes a lot of time to do so, but eventually you'll get there. As for starting an account, you want a proper name. Do not think of a long, unoriginal, forgettable name like
XX Minecraft Gamer 69 XX Minecraft, Roblox, and more.
No. You want to have a slick name that is rememberable. Even better if it represents you and yourself. Mr. Frosty, Aurora, and Volan are names that I came up with, and those names are actually pretty decent. If you want, you can use the example that I came up with, or you can try on your own. You also want a custom profile picture and a banner that represents what you do as your channel. If you want any GFX related profile pictures, I suggest you go ahead and find anyone out there on Discord for one. It's not that hard for me, and they usually take around half an hour to a full hour to make. Sometimes they have a price for them, but they usually do it for free. Digital art profile pictures and banners, you might want to hop in around DeviantArt or any art related website and contact a person to draw one for you. Usually they set prices for commissions and it's really rare to find one that's free. The person that I had found that really does the job done and does it for cheap prices, Armor Ultra, a good bud of mine that draws both profile pictures and banners, and if you're interested, they cost around $15 or $20 for commissions. Now that you've finally sparked an idea of your own channel and your own content, it's time to invest into equipment. Finding your own varied equipment can take a very long time to study and find your own items for a higher quality video, but here are pretty much all of the equipment that I would recommend to you if you are investing lots of money safely into equipment that does not cause you any trouble. For cameras, it's a really tricky choice to make because it's really what type of camera you enjoy. If you're into live streaming and face cams, I suggest a camera that goes up to 720p since you are only putting it at the corner of your screen, but if cameras are something you should be worrying about, then I suggest a GoPro Hero 5, which is roughly around $200. It pretty much does the job well done, and it can capture out to either 4K 30fps or 2.7K at 60fps. If you're worried more about lighting and built-in mics, then might I suggest the Canon T3i Digital. It does the job well done, and even though it's more expensive, its built-in mic has a more high quality, and I heard lots of good aspects and reviews about this bad boy. For screen recording, there's a lot of options you can go for, but I'll save you the good ones. For iOS devices, I'd honestly suggest the default screen recorder. You can get it in the control center on settings. It's a solid screen recorder and records up to 60 FPS, although it has some technical problems and it can't really record up to 10 minutes without having any issues. For Android devices, I suggest getting AZ Screen Recorder. It goes up to 1080p, 60 FPS, and it has the option to record the audio, the touches, and even has a time-lapse mode. For PC and Mac, there's a lot of options for recording your screen. I heard Fraps is okay, but it kinda gives off technical problems. What I really suggest using is OBS, aka Open Broadcast Software. It really nails at what it does best with its comfortable layouts. It's fully customizable, and I cannot tell you guys enough about it. Totally should try using this, and it's free as well. For recording game consoles, I would suggest buying a Hotbox PVR Pro 60, but I heard small complaints like terrible customer service and breaks due to heated wires, but other than that, it's a solid deal. An alternative to this is the ever so popular Elgato, more specifically the newer Elgato HD 60S. Their options are way more simpler and it has a higher quality capture. I'd say go for the Elgato brand. It's more trustworthy and they always do their job best. Plus, they can even capture retro games like the Atari 2600 or the Sega Genesis. For iOS devices, I cannot recommend it enough, but I highly advise you use QCut Pro, the full version. I've been using this app for about 3 years, and it's honestly a blessing to have for iOS user. It can render up to 720p 60 FPS, but it has a lot of features that really shines. For example, you can add unlimited tracks, it even has its own proper transitions, and you can even pan your own videos or photos, which is perfect for mobile editing. Definitely use this instead of iMovie. Although it costs money, it's pretty worth it. For Android devices, it's pretty weak over here, but the best I can give you is to go for KineMaster. It really isn't that bad and it does its thing. There's a lot of other options, but KineMaster would be my choice. For PC and Mac users, it's pretty tricky to pick out one because it's directly more on your preference, but the two main big boys that get thrown in a lot is Sony Vegas Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro. Although I use the Sony Vegas Pro and I never use Premiere Pro, I hear a lot of good things about Premiere. So much so that people tend to say that it's better than Vegas Pro. But I use Vegas Pro because I've been so accustomed to it beforehand, and self-teaching myself how to use it took me a few days to learn. Vegas Pro has its own strengths and weaknesses against Premiere Pro, like the fact that Vegas is more towards masking, and Premiere is more leaned on keyframes. Right now, the video that you're watching is being used by Vegas Pro, so if that's what you want, you can try out both Vegas Pro or Premiere Pro. They both do pretty well at their stuff, and I highly suggest using either of the two, or both. Additionally, if you're more into spectrums, effects, equalizers, or visualizers, then I suggest getting Adobe After Effects. It's more complicated in learning how to use it, and till this day, I still don't know how the hell it works, but I hear it works best for using flashy effects or visualizers. A Discord friend of mine that I used to talk to said that he used After Effects for his visualizers on the channel Dubstep Horrors. It's a good choice if you're into that category, but it's really complicated and more for advanced users. For iOS devices, it's pretty rough for you guys, but try to get PS Touch as a tweaked app. It's pretty difficult nowadays to get it, but it's still possible. If not, then try using PixArt. It's below average, but it's all I can really ask for a Photoshop app. I don't have much to say for iOS devices, but good luck out there. For Android devices, I really suggest nabbing at this sourced app called PS Touch. Hands down, it's probably the best Photoshop app you'll ever need on mobile. It's pretty much what I use to make all of my thumbnails, and it's pretty much a limited version of Photoshop. You can add a gradient, some strokes, custom fonts, effects, lighting, and blending options as well. It's pretty fun to mess around with it, and it's the perfect mobile app for Photoshop. Definitely get a try at this one. Trust me, it's great. For PC and Mac users, definitely get Adobe Photoshop, either CS6 or CC 2018. I mean, it's a no-brainer to get this program, but alternatives to this would also have to be Paint.net. Although Photoshop costs a hefty price, Paint.net is cheaper and still features loads of options for things like text, strokes, flow, and more. Either one of the two would be a good choice if you want to make eye-catching thumbnails. DAWs are abbreviated as Digital Audio Workspaces. They're programs that are made to modify or manipulate audio files or to produce music. Although they can be pretty pricey, here are some of my best choices for users that want to either produce music or just simply sound professional. For mobile devices, which is both iOS and Android devices, the best choice to go for is FL Studio Mobile. It's an amazing music DAW, and it has its own preset plugins like multi-effects, EQings, and my favorite, GMS. It's pretty good to set up for this if you're into audio mixing or music producing, and you only have a mobile device to do so. For PC and Mac users, I'd suggest using FL Studio or Ableton for music producing. They both do pretty well for DAWs, and they are pretty much tied up to what they actually do. I hear that Ableton is more lean toward basses and it's more manageable, whereas FL Studio is more accustomed to acoustic and melodic sound design. I'd say this is your pick if you're more into making music. If you just want to get into audio mixing, I'd say go for Audacity. Audacity is a great program if you want to customize your audio and therefore make your mic audio sound more professional. The interface on it's pretty confusing, but there's a lot of tutorials on mixing audio. You can pretty much add equalizers, noise reduction, noise isolation, and so much more. These are programs that are not categorized and not used by many, but can still be recommended for those in need. Handbrake is a PC software that encodes your footage files. It also converts videos files into other files and deinterlaces footage for a more higher quality video to prevent blurry or static images when pixels are moving too fast. I'd really recommend using this program if you're into saving up storage on your hard drive and you really don't want to use up to 1 terabyte of space just for recordings. Speaking of hard drives, I also recommend you get an extra 1 to 2 terabyte hard drive in case you run out of space on your PC. And to prevent yourself from spending too much time on Audacity, I'd recommend you also get an audio monitoring. It works most effectively if you want to sound professional, and it's pretty user-friendly, aside from all the cables. I didn't add any PCs, mics, nor headset or monitors because those kinds of equipments are really up to you. They cost expensive if you want a pretty good equipment, but if you are more serious about YouTube being your job, then I'd say go for it. Now that you have what you need, it's time to go over how to attract viewers. Of course, you can't grow a YouTube channel without getting viewers. These tips may not work 100%, but they are really necessary to increase your chances on getting your videos recommended to others who enjoy the same content you make. Thumbnails are one of the most important ways of attracting viewers. It's literally one of the first things they see whenever they come to your videos. You want to have a thumbnail that will catch a viewer's eyes while not misleading them. You don't want your viewers to be misinformed. Use Photoshop, Photoshop Touch, or any other programs and start learning how to use thumbnails properly. Remember, they have to be eye-catching for viewers to notice your videos first, then the rest, and don't mislead your viewers. The size for a thumbnail is 1280 by 720 pixels wide. If you want to apply a thumbnail, head over to the YouTube Creator Studio, go over to Video Manager, Edit, and there should be an option to place a custom thumbnail for you. A title is another important element to grab viewers into clicking onto your video. To title a video properly, you want to start using the most relevant keywords first, and something that makes sense. For example, in my videos, I make 2.2 news for Geometry Dash, so of course, I'm going to name the most relevant keywords first. Geometry Dash is of course the game that I play, and at 2.2 release news is the name of the series that the video is about, and so forth. Tagging your videos are perfect and beneficial for getting your videos recommended to your audience. Without tags in your videos, there's going to be a rough chance for getting your videos noticed by anyone. The way to tag your video is by going through YouTube Creator Studio, Video Manager, Edit, and your tag should be below where your description is. Use relevant keywords as used in your title to help get your videos across the YouTube algorithm. Tag your videos as much as possible to get a better chance to do so. Another huge tip to tell you is to use TubeBuddy, a Chrome extension that helps manage your YouTube channel. This extension definitely helps me out in knowing where my tags have been, and it even has its own live subscriber count and a chart to tell you if your channel is dead or not. Go ahead and install this extension so that TubeBuddy will let you know where your tags are being placed at in your keywords. If your keyword is at number 1 and has a pretty good search results, then chances are your videos will get loads of views. Oh, and also check your videos every day to make sure your tags are keeping up, or if YouTube doesn't mess around with your tags. It happens sometimes. Descriptions aren't necessarily a good way into getting views, but it's pretty good to nab an extra couple of views. If you don't add any descriptions to your videos, you're missing out. First off, on the first 3 lines of your descriptions, you want to have a short description of what happens to your video. Why? Well, whenever YouTube recommends you a video, it usually displays the first 3 lines of your video's description, right? You want to have that feature as an advantage. You also want to convince people in your description to subscribe to your channel, as well as linking your social platform, recommending other videos from yours, and writing another brief summary of your video to have your tags a much more beneficial effect in getting placed in the algorithm. I am a firm believer that getting your first few subs definitely helps push your videos out there more, so why not share your YouTube channel to your friends and family? And yes, I know, having a person that you know watch your videos in front of you is pretty awkward, and trust me, it's literally how I got my first 10 subscribers. Try to spread your channel out there by telling everyone you know about it. I'm sure they're going to be pretty supportive of your channel. It also helps getting you that extra couple of views so that your tags can have a bigger effect when it comes into play. So yeah, if you're pretty active and serious about YouTube, this should help you attract a wider audience to help your channel grow more. So now that you're ready to make your new videos, it's time to show you what not to do on YouTube. Firstly, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Do not clickbait. It's pretty obvious if you clickbait either way. It gives you a bad reputation online, it affects your viewership, and it's just a bad way to damage your channel. Sure, you can clickbait once in a while, but if misleading your viewers is the main point of your channel, then you're setting yourself up for disaster. Secondly, do not put tags in your description. It's a form of abusing your tags, and plus, it's against the YouTube's terms of service. It's not good for your channel. Yes, I've made the same mistake and I didn't realize that it's against the YouTube's terms of service, but now I know. Another thing you shouldn't do is sub for subbing. This technique never works and it affects your channel in a bad way. You'll end up getting tons of inactive subscribers, which in the long run will get automatically removed by YouTube's sub purge. It's just not a good deal, to be honest. Also, do not get shoutouts. Yes, you heard me correct. Do not get shoutouts. Why? Well, gaining a ton of subscribers off of a big YouTuber will eventually lead to inactive subscribers unless they have really dedicated subscribers. On top of this, it just forces you to make content to feed your upcoming 500 subscribers that appeared out of nowhere. It happened to me with a Raisin collab, and trust me, I was lucky enough to get myself to start growing. No hate Raisin though. Anyways, the last thing that you don't want to do on YouTube is to simply don't do it for the money or fame. If being popular the only thing you want to have in life, then that's the worst mistake anyone can ever do. Do not push fame and money over your own self. It's not healthy, it'll make you have a negative personality, and it's going to make you pretty hated around the community easily. I'm not saying that you can't make YouTube your job, but I don't think that YouTube is the way to go for fame and money. And I've encountered people that have asked me for collabs out of nowhere many times as soon as they blew up on YouTube. It's something that upsets me easily when someone's trying to use you for clout, which is why I'm pretty picky on collabs on my videos. But yeah, be responsible with how you handle thousands of subscribers. The way you sound recording, on streams, what things you do, and even if you attempt to hide all of it, people will find out. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about what not to do for your YouTube channel. The last thing I want to discuss about is gaining consistency and keeping up with motivation. You have to put up a schedule of when you're working on YouTube. You can't expect long breaks and have fans still watching your videos. You need to constantly keep uploading videos at least once a week. Once in a while you can take a break off of it and explain to your audience that you're burned out, but this kind of grinding is what loads of other YouTubers have done to pursue on what they actually do. If you're feeling pretty demotivated on doing what you want to do, then watch channels that inspired you in the first place that got you where you are now. You want to keep uploading videos to continuously gain subscribers rapidly. It does have a long process of making these kinds of videos, but in the long run, it'll be way worth it, trust me. This is pretty much all of what I have to offer on how I managed to grow loads of subscribers within months of hard work. If you need me to ask any questions or any concerns, just hit me up on Discord by joining my Discord server in the description below, or you can watch the YouTubes at Creator Academy to learn more. And yeah, just keep doing what you and the audience loves to see, and someday you'll make it up in the big scene, like the rest of us content creators.